If it was as simple as walking away, you would have done it already. So why haven't you? You're doing what you're supposed to do. You're showing up, you're getting things done, but your life still doesn't feel like it's moving forward. So the more you show you can handle, the more gets placed on your plate. If you're a Black woman who is used to being the one that everyone depends on, this video is going to hit you a little differently. If it was as simple as walking away, you would have done it already. So why haven't you? You've already noticed that something isn't right. You're doing what you're supposed to do. You're showing up, you're getting things done, but your life still doesn't feel like it's moving forward. And that frustration is very specific. It's not confusion and it's not a lack of effort. It's the feeling of putting in real energy, but seeing little to none of it coming back to you. And this doesn't just happen in small, random moments. It's something that gets built into your identity over time. You learn very early that being dependable keeps things stable, that being strong keeps things from falling apart. You learn that being the one who handles hard things well makes you valuable. So you don't just do those things, you become the person who does. And once something becomes a part of your identity, you don't question it anymore. And from that place, you don't ask, is this something that I should carry? The internal narrative just becomes, how do I get this done? And over time, that creates a pattern that attaches your value to how much you can carry instead of how your life actually moves. So the more you show you can handle, the more gets placed on your plate. And it's not because you explicitly asked for it, but it's because you've been conditioned to hold it all. And this is what I break down here in this space. I discuss the patterns that quietly shape the lives of Black women and why they're so hard to step out of. Because most of these patterns don't feel like patterns when you're actually living inside of them. They feel like responsibility. They feel like being a good person. They feel like you're doing what needs to be done. But once you can see these patterns clearly, you start to realize that you've actually been operating inside of something structured. And in my last video, I broke down why your life can feel stuck even when you're doing everything right. We discussed why your energy output can be high and you still feel like your life isn't moving forward in the direction you desire. But here's the part that makes these patterns harder than we'd like to admit. Even when you see the pattern, it's still hard to break. And if you haven't watched that video yet, go watch it first, because what we'll discuss in this video will hit a lot harder once you do. So once you see the patterns that we're discussing right now clearly, you'll realize that this pattern didn't show up by accident. You've been positioned into a role. You've been conditioned to over-identify with being the reliable one, the strong one, the person who holds everything together. And that role doesn't just exist, it gets reinforced. In psychology, it's what is called behavioral reinforcement. It's when something keeps getting rewarded, so it continues to be repeated. And for a lot of Black women, being dependable gets rewarded. You get praised for it, you get respected for it, you get relied on for it, and that feels like connection. But that reward doesn't always equal support. Sometimes the reward is just more responsibility. People depend on you, they expect you to show up. People build their entire lives around your consistency. And the moment you pull back, things shift. If you don't answer right away, someone's offended. If you don't fix something, it sits and it waits on you. And if you don't step in to resolve the issue, tension continues to build. And now you're not just dealing with your own decision. You're dealing with how it affects everyone else. And the hardest part is if you slip up, if you no longer show up at full capacity, you don't just lose the role. You lose a sense of who you've been taught you are. Because when you've been the strong or the reliable one for so long, your identity gets attached to that role. So when you try to change, it doesn't just feel uncomfortable. It feels wrong. It feels like you're not showing up the way that you're supposed to. And this is where a lot of women get stuck. Because at this place, you have to ask yourself a very real question. You have to ask, who am I if I'm not holding everything together for everyone else? And most of us have never even been given the space to explore the answer to that question. So, what actually changes this? It's not doing more, it's not becoming more disciplined, and it's not trying to manage everything even better. It's changing what your energy is allowed to go toward. Because right now, a lot of your effort is being automatically assigned. You step in, you fix it, and you handle big problems. And again, it's not necessarily because you choose to, but it's because it's the role that you've been placed inside of. And real progress starts the moment you interrupt this pattern. So before you respond, before you take on another project, and before you move in to fix it, ask yourself one question. Is this building my life in the direction that I desire, or am I maintaining something else entirely? And if it's not building your life, it doesn't automatically get your attention anymore. And once you start seeing this clearly, you start realizing something important. You can't change what you cannot see. Because most of what I'm discussing isn't obvious when you're living inside of it. It actually just feels like your life. And that's exactly why I created what I call the orientation map. It's not more surface level motivation, and it's not advice. It's a way to actually see where your time, energy, and responsibility are actually going right now. Because the moment you can actually see what's being maintained and what's actually moving your life forward, you can stop operating blindly. And that's the first real step towards changing this pattern. It's not doing more, but it's finally understanding what's been shaping your life. And if this resonates with you, if it's something that you know you need right now, then you can download the orientation map through the link below in the description of this video. And in the next video, I'm going to show you exactly how to start pulling your energy back into yourself without your whole life falling apart. Because that's the part that most of us are actually afraid of. So if you're a Black woman who is ready to stop being everything for everyone and actually start building a life that moves you forward, subscribe to the channel. Because everything I create here is designed to help you understand these patterns and actually shift them. And remember, this isn't about doing more. It's about doing things differently. It's about finally recognizing where your energy has been going and deciding where it needs to go next.